Have you ever wondered why you can't stop thinking about someone who treats you badly, or why you chase love that hurts you? It's not weakness. It's psychology. Your brain gets addicted to the emotional highs and lows, confusing pain with passion. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden psychological traps that make us chase the wrong people and how to finally break free. Have you ever met someone who made your heart race instantly? Someone who gave you butterflies, who made every text, every glance, every small interaction feel electric? You couldn't stop thinking about them. You checked your phone constantly, waiting for their reply. And when they finally messaged you back after hours of silence, it felt like a rush. But then, they pulled away again. And suddenly, you're craving that feeling all over. This, right here, is the dopamine trap. The reason why we get addicted to people who are wrong for us. It's not just emotional attachment, it's biochemical addiction. When we fall for someone unpredictable, someone who gives us affection one day and disappears the next, our brain reacts exactly like it does with gambling, drugs, or social media notifications. Each unpredictable reward, a text, a compliment, a kiss, triggers a dopamine spike in the brain's reward system. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter responsible for desire, motivation, and anticipation. But here's the dangerous part. Dopamine isn't about pleasure. It's about wanting. Your brain doesn't release dopamine when you feel loved and secure. It releases it when you anticipate love. When there's uncertainty. When you don't know what's coming next. That tension, that emotional push and pull, is what keeps you hooked. Think of it like this. In a stable relationship, your brain feels calm. You know where you stand. There's consistency, safety, predictability. But in a chaotic connection, where affection and rejection come in unpredictable bursts, your brain lights up like fireworks. It craves the next. That moment of attention feels intoxicating because it's rare. You start to equate emotional chaos with intense chemistry. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement, a powerful conditioning pattern discovered through behavioral experiments. When rewards are given inconsistently, the brain learns to chase them harder. It's the same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. You don't know when you'll win, but when you do, it feels euphoric, and that keeps you playing. In relationships, the reward might be a text message, a compliment, or a moment of intimacy after days of emotional distance. Each time that happens, your brain's reward circuit strengthens the connection. You start associating pain with pleasure. And before you know it, you're stuck, chasing someone who gives you just enough affection to keep you hooked, but not enough to feel secure. Why do we keep falling for the same kind of person, even when we swear we've learned our lesson? Why do we attract people who hurt us, ignore us, or make us feel unseen, again and again? The answer isn't in who we meet. It's in what we learned about love before we even knew what love was. Every relationship you have as an adult is built on the blueprint your brain created in childhood, long before your first date, your first heartbreak, or your first "I love you." Psychologists call this your attachment style, and it quietly shapes who you're drawn to, how you behave in relationships, and even what kind of love feels familiar to you. From birth to about age 7, your brain is like wet clay, soft, impressionable, and deeply tuned into the emotional world around you. You learn what love feels like by watching how your caregivers respond to your needs. Were they attentive? Distant? Overwhelmed? Consistent? Your young brain records all of it, not as conscious memories, but as emotional patterns. If you had caregivers who were warm, responsive, and predictable, you likely developed a secure attachment. As an adult, you trust that love is safe. You're not afraid of closeness, and you don't need constant reassurance. You believe that love doesn't have to be earned, it's simply given. But if love came with confusion or inconsistency, your wiring looks different. You might have developed what's called an anxious attachment. Maybe as a child, you had to work for attention, crying louder, trying harder, constantly seeking approval just to feel noticed. That taught your brain a dangerous lesson, that love is uncertain, and your worth depends on someone else's mood or attention. As an adult, this often shows up as chasing emotionally unavailable people, the ones who give you just enough to keep you hanging on. Every time they pull away, your childhood fear of abandonment is reactivated. You start overthinking, overgiving, and overanalyzing, trying to fix what feels broken. But deep down, what you're really trying to fix is the emotional wound from years ago, the moment you learned that love could vanish without warning. Then there's the avoidant attachment. This often forms when love in childhood felt overwhelming, conditional, or even unsafe. Maybe you were punished for showing emotions. Maybe your needs were ignored. So your brain learned the opposite lesson, that closeness equals danger. As an adult, you crave connection but also fear it. You keep people at arm's length, avoid vulnerability, and convince yourself you're better off alone. You fall for people who are emotionally distant, because deep down, that kind of love feels familiar, and familiarity feels safe, even when it hurts. And then, there's the most complex pattern, the disorganized attachment. This happens when love and fear come from the same person. Maybe your caregiver was loving one moment, but scary or unpredictable the next. Let's be honest, knowing why we chase the wrong people doesn't always stop us from doing it. You can understand the psychology. You can name your attachment style. You can know every red flag by heart. And still, you might find yourself checking your phone, waiting for a text from someone who already showed you who they are. That's not weakness. That's wiring. Our brains are built to repeat what feels familiar, not what's healthy. But here's the truth most people never realize. What the brain learns, it can unlearn. What's wired can be rewired. And that's exactly how you break the cycle. The first step is awareness, not judgment. You can't heal what you shame yourself for. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" start asking, "What happened to me? Why does chaos feel like connection? Why does distance feel like safety? Why does rejection hurt more than it should?" Every emotional reaction you have today was built by experiences you didn't choose, your childhood, your first heartbreak, your early definitions of love. Awareness isn't about blaming the past. It's about understanding the map your nervous system still follows. Once you see your pattern clearly, you take back control. Because what was once unconscious becomes optional. You don't have to keep playing the same script. You can rewrite it. The second step is creating emotional safety within yourself. So many people stay trapped in toxic cycles because they depend on others for regulation. You feel anxious, and you need their validation to feel okay. You feel rejected, and you need their approval to calm down. But emotional freedom begins when you become your own safe place. When you can sit with your feelings, without running, chasing, or numbing, you take away the power of those old triggers. Try this. The next time you feel that urge to reach out, to beg for closure, or to check if they still care, pause. Close your eyes. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what am I actually craving right now? Is it them? Or is it comfort, reassurance, love, safety? When you realize it's not a person you need but a feeling, you open the door to healing. Because now, you can start giving yourself what you've always looked for in others. The third step is retraining your body, not just your mind. Your logical brain can know that someone is wrong for you, but your nervous system still craves them because it remembers the dopamine rush, the highs and lows, the emotional roller coaster. To break that bond, you need to teach your body a new normal. That means choosing peace, even when it feels strange. That means staying with people who make you feel calm, even when your brain says, "This feels boring." That means practicing stillness, presence, and slow love, until your body learns that safety can feel just as powerful as intensity.